Hi, I'm Nigel Seeley and welcome to my new YouTube channel here where I'll be giving you the best bets on the Premier League each weekend, starting with week 3 of the Premier League and also previewing some Football League bets as well as other sports. You may have seen me on Tip TV, you may have seen me on Boyle Sports in the last couple of seasons, but unfortunately this year, no one wants me. No one wants me. So, you've got me here on YouTube. I'm going to start off with the Premier League. One thing I've noticed is about this year's Premier League is there hasn't been many shocks. Lots of the big teams are winning. Last year we had Leicester winning. We had other big shocks going on. Chelsea didn't start the season well. Manchester United didn't start the season well. Well, this season, the big three are playing really well. And my treble this week, or my best 3 bets this week, depending if you want to play in singles or shop around for the treble, is concentrate on those 3 teams. Now, I'm not going to go 1 to 2, 1 to 2, 1 to 2, all these kind of prices on 3. I'm looking for different angles. So let's start with the Chelsea game. Chelsea at home to Burnley. I've been very impressed with Conte. We were very impressed with him in the Euros, weren't we? A very passionate manager. He's got the Chelsea looking good again. They're playing with a swagger. The one thing he's got really well, he's got the support of the fans behind. They love him. They love the way he's jumping around the pitch. They love the way he's cheering these late goals. And that is a huge bonus for him at Chelsea to have that fan base behind him. The other thing he's got, which is key, he's got Diego Costa playing well. Diego Costa scoring goals again, which makes Chelsea hard to beat. Defensively, they still look a bit dodgy. They've conceded in both their games against Watford and against West Ham. But this time around, I don't think they'll concede against the Burnley side, who everyone's saying, oh, Burnley beat Liverpool 2-0. Burnley done really, really well. Okay, they did beat Liverpool. Liverpool are inconsistent, but that was the only game of the 3 matches this season that Burnley have scored. So, really, are they world beaters? No, they're not. Liverpool had an off day. And I think they come down to Stamford Bridge on the back of a 1-0 beating by Accrington Stanley. Who are they? Exactly. And that's why I think Chelsea will do a number on them here. I think Chelsea are very short price favourites. They will win, no doubt about it for me. They've met twice in the Premier League before. The last time was a 1-1 draw, but Chelsea were showing signs of cracking then. And previous to that, they won 3-0. And that's the kind of scoreline I think here. But instead of going for a scoreline, I think the best bet we've got to get, and I'm sure this price will go very, very quickly, is with Paddy Power. They're offering 10 to 11 that Chelsea win to 0. So Chelsea 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, 4-0, 5-0. As long as Burnley don't score, maybe even 6-0. As long as Burnley don't score, you win the money and Chelsea win as well. You win the money. I think 10 to 11 is a good price there. I'm going to go for Chelsea to win to 0 as one of my best bets in the Premier League this weekend. My second bet is Manchester United live on TV on Saturday night. They travel to Hull. Both of these sides, surprisingly for Hull, are unbeaten in the Premier League. Both of them have a 100% winning record. Hull beat Leicester on the first day of the season, which was a great result, a big shock. I fancied Leicester strongly for that game. And then they followed that up with probably even more an impressive performance with their result at Swansea. Manchester United, they have been my title picks from the start. In my Sun Fave column, I've tipped them. I think they look good. I think they look strong. I think they look better and better. And going forward, they're like the Red Arrows. There's pace down the flanks. Martial has been a revelation in his new position. They've got Zlatan Ibrahimovic scoring goals. And Paul Pogba, who made a very, very impressive debut against Southampton. They won both of their games in a bit of a swagger. 3-1. Win against Bournemouth and 2-0 win against Southampton. And I think they carry on that convincing winning record against this whole side in this one. They're a short price favourite to win 1 to 2 away from home. I don't really like backing odds on shots away from home in the Premier League, especially at its early stage of the season. But there is a good case to be made for Manchester United here. Hull haven't beaten Man United since 1974. Top of the charts then in November was Kung Fu Fighting by Carl Douglas. And I tell you what, they need to do with it, a kung fu fight, if they are going to win this game. If Man United have 11 players on the pitch, they're going to win it. Hull have only 13 players in the whole squad. No manager. They've done really well, but they're still even money favourites to get relegated. And I think they're going to get found out here. They're going to come down to earth with a bang. And I think Manchester United, minus 1.5 goals at 7 to 5. Yeah, massive price. 7 to 5 with Bet Victor is a great bet here. Man United win by 2 or more goals. You're in the money. And I think that's going to be the way to go. I think they'll be far too strong. And the other bet I like is Man United half-time, full-time. Last season, it started off so many games very slowly in the first half. Lots of games were drawing 0-0. This time around, though, they're flying out the traps. Ibrahimovic has been a great player. Mourinho's got them fired up. And I think they score early, get the job done, and win convincingly. Draw Manchester United half-time, Manchester United full-time, and Manchester United to win to 0 maybe, but definitely the best bet, Man United minus 1.5. Moving on to Sunday, and the other one of the big three is Manchester City. They're at home to West Ham. Now, West Ham were a happy bunch when they come to the Etihad last season to play this game, and they won. They're not so happy now. They've moved to a new stadium. They've got massive injury crisis. No Carroll, no Payet still. Fringe players come in. They've been dumped out of Europe. They were far from convincing against Chelsea, losing 2-1, last-minute goal. But I tell you what, the performance wasn't good enough. They were awful against Bournemouth. Very lucky. Bournemouth got a player sent off. It changed the game. Arter got sent off in that game. I think they go to Man City, and I think they get an absolute hammering. Excuse the pun. City under Guardiola are scoring goals for fun. They're going to follow what Man United do. Man United win convincingly, we'll win convincingly. There's a kind of arrogance between the two of them. I think they're going to dominate the Premier League this season, the two Manchester clubs, and I think they're going to really, really rip apart this West Ham side who are, like I say, terrible injury list. Take Carroll, take Payet out this side, where the goal's going to come from. They can't score against Romanian sides. Astra in the Europa League, how they're going to score against Manchester City, I just can't see it happening. One thing I do think is Man City are going to score at least two. Aguero back after being rested, scoring goals for fun. They're on a mission to do well. They're on a mission to win the Premier League title. They're on a mission to win it in a swagger and a style that's some with Pep Guardiola. I like Man City -1.5 again in this game at 9-11 with Bet Victor. So my best three bets in the Premier League this weekend, I'm going to go for Chelsea to win to 0 at 10-11 against Burnley. Man United -1.5 at 7-5 with Bet Victor. And Manchester City -1.5 at 9-11 with Bet Victor. They are the three best bets, and that is the way to profit at the Premier League at the moment. The big three are winning, and they're winning well, and that means the bookies lose money. Make sure you don't and back those three.